So I just got off work and I'm trying to figure out the door lock fuse pop and the rear power window keep blowing the fuses. And I thought maybe it was this guy because of it was the lock and the door, but I switched out with the old one, and after yesterday's wiring adventure, the locks do work now, and the rear window does work just fine. So I'm thinking not all the wires worked in my little horrible job I did yesterday. So what I'm gonna do, which I really don't want to do, is gonna be pulling all this, getting rid of this centerpiece, this clip, and just hardwiring everything directly together. Let's cut it all. Cut it about 6 inches up, or about 3 inches up, which just sucks because I almost have to take the fender off in order to do that, and I really don't want to do that because I just got it all on there. And I gotta take the lights off, and I gotta take the filler piece off. It's just a nightmare. I don't want to do. So if I can finagle this out, which I'm pretty sure I can, unclip it and pull it out of there, and then pull from this side out, then I should be able to I can pull this out and then add about a foot of each wire, and then just have it tucked in along the bottom here. Yeah, just get rid of this altogether, and then just have it tightly wrapped coming all the way down. Reuse these rubber bushings. So I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna think about it for a minute. I might do this now, I might do this tomorrow. We'll see. Alright, so it's the next day after just spending about 3.5-4 hours down here yesterday. Just researching a bunch of wiring, basically going through schematics, getting out of the car and looking at stuff, getting back in the car, looking at schematics. I basically didn't get anything done, but I spent the day mentally working, doing a lot of research and stuff. And today I got off work a little early, and it's absolutely gorgeous again. So I'm going to, I got my little kit with me out here, back at it. I am finally getting back around to what I believe is a round video 19's wiring issues. I had to splice into these three, thinking that it was one of these, so I was running the shitty wiring, and I've been having starting issues based on jiggling the wiring. So I'm taking today and I'm cleaning this up, and hopefully I'll be able to run the reverse backup lights as well, as I'm going to get rid of that connecting clip. So I've got a few hours ahead of me of in this crouch position, so I'm going to get at it and see where I get to. Hopefully very far. What I want to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter and then pull. That way I'm saving wire on the harness side, of which I have a lot on this side, about 2.5 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and wire that in with that. My goal is to get rid of this today, as far as this part of the project. So this will be wired to that. Looking at these guys, both the blue wires from here went into the same clip. So I'm just going to attach this wire to this and clean that up. So that'll get rid of that wire. I'm going to have to figure out what the green and black is. I'm hoping maybe, I don't know, I got to figure out what that is. The black is just ground. I can just loop that in with one of these other grounds here. And that should take care of it. I gotta figure out what that green and black one is. Coming off of this one, it goes back to the ECU, I believe. I think on this one it's green and yellow though. Yeah, because I pulled all of this, so the OEM color is going to be the green and yellow. This is OEM off the 95, So is this. This one back here is original 1990. So I know I have excess of the blue. So I'll use, clean that up. It splits 2 right here as well. It goes 1 into the thing and then 1 into there, which is 2. So, yeah, alright, that's where I'm going. See you when I get there. So I'm heading back inside. 2 days of sitting out here for over 4 hours cleaning up wires, so I am making progress. I got everything I wanted to get done. Everything got pretty much done. I got everything nice and wired back together and everything, but it didn't solve. I got almost all of the wires off. I don't want to dig it out. Whatever. It's working fine right now. That's the big thing. Got everything cleaned up, shortened, redundancies taken out, stuff like that. All good. New ground on there. Everything's good. Drive it around the block. Problem remains, persistent, perseveres. It go after a couple of times over 3,000 RPM, or over, well, as soon as you get up to 5,000 RPM, basically, it starts throwing a code 16 and goes into limp mode. I thought maybe it was one of my pins. I unpinned from the other car, the exact same wire and stuff, and connected them. That didn't help. I switched the main relay. I switched ECUs. I had the P28 in there for a couple of minutes. I'm not ready to use the P28 yet. I just wanted to make sure that it was working. It wasn't that. I switched out the main relay. Wasn't that. So 2 main relays, 2 ECUs, exact same problem. Clean up the wiring, exact same problem. I'm basically back to exactly where I started, except when I was putzing around with the second ECU or main relay, I got it to go out of limp mode. It went around the block 3 or 4 times just fine. I was like, oh, it was the main relay. And then halfway back, I moved the main relay from where it was tucked in these wires over, and suddenly it went into limp mode. Or something moved down there and went into limp mode. So I got to hone in on that. It's in there somewhere. So I pull into the driveway and I start wiggling back here by the radio cables, and the car almost dies. It sputters quite a bit, and so I realize it's one of these cables. So I start pulling them out, and I start messing with the power coming out of the radio. There's a little clip harness there. Half of it is wired directly into the harness, which is a factory stereo harness, and the other half is wired directly into the pin, the clip with all the wires. So the radio, I guess you could say. I unclip the little connector one, like that white one there, with the ground, the battery, and I don't know, the yellow, the red, and the black, which I assume is power, ground, and I don't remember off the top of my head, constant. Unplug that, car dies instantly. Plug it back in, car starts up, try it again, pull it, dies. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it has something to do with that. So I pull the radio out, unclip it, pull the wires out, sitting around messing with it. All the wires seem fine. Then plug the radio into it while it's sitting here, and the main relay won't click on. So I put the radio back in, reassert the dish, main relay clicks on, boom. So now I'm like stuck in this thought of like, is the radio being grounded? But there's a ground wire coming out, and that ground wire goes into the dash up here. The factory one goes up here, along here like that, and up into the dash. Beyond that, I can't remember where it goes, but there's a ground to that. And then the obviously all the power and the right, left, speaker, front, rear, all those wires are all just in one little harness there that goes up and around. So I'm wondering if, because the main relay, the ground goes up. Does it get grounded in here together? Does it matter if it's all grounded together? I've never encountered a problem where it was like wrong to be. I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out what exactly the problem is, because as of right now, I'm miffed. Any thoughts? Basically, where I'm at is the car's power is running through the battery. That's where I'm at with that. Thoughts? Sure be helpful.